Okay, you will have a question like this on your exam. Again, it's important that you know how to do this. If you don't have your worksheet out right now, you need to grab it, and you need to write all the steps here. So how do we do this? How do we do number one? Tell me what to do. You have number one on your test. What would you do? Yeah, you find which equation fits. So, does the first one or the second one fit the first one? Why? Right, okay. Do you all understand that? Other than, because Jenna was the one that, she obviously gets the rest. Do you get that?
Yep.
Okay, so you plug it into the first one, it is x is less than 0, negative 2 is less than 0, so you plug it into the first one, perfect. F of negative 2 is 2 times negative 2 plus 3. What's 2 times negative 2?
Negative 4.
That's negative 4 plus 3.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Okay. What about the second one? Does that fit into the first equation or the second equation?
Second equation.
Second equation. Right? So, plug in, find f of 4. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. Oh, and that's, yeah. Because you're plugging in, yep, you're plugging in f of 4, positive 4. So that's 4 minus 5, which is negative 1. That first one, again, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. Questions so far? Okay. Third one. You're plugging in 1. Does that fit into the first one or the second one?
Second one.
Second one.
I can't listen to her stop singing.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, Troy. Look. 1. Does it fit into the first equation or second equation?
Second.
Second, right? So we're going to plug it into the second one. F of 1 equals 1 minus 5, so that's negative 4. Second one, or number 4. Does 0 fit into the first equation or second?
Second.
Second, because that's x is greater than or equal to 0. So 0 minus 5 is? Negative 5. Okay, 1/2, this one can be a little tricky. Does that fit in the first equation or second?
First.
First. F of negative 1/2 equals 2 times negative 1/2 plus 3. What's 2 times negative 1/2? Is it 1 or negative 1?
Negative 1.
Okay, Carly's now the only one that's answering. Carly and Jenna are the only ones that are answering. Anyone else? It's 2. 2 times negative 1 is, or negative 1/2 is negative 1. So negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2. Someone other than Carly, where do you plug in the 10? And Jenna, other than Carly and Jenna. Where do you plug in the 10? First or second? Second. What's 10 minus 5? 5. Okay, Alex, are you prepared for this test? No, you're not. Okay. Step by step. Step number 1, and you might want to label it. Find your starting points. So I'm going to write that down. Step number 1, find starting points. Number 1, find starting points. To find your starting points, you're going to plug in whatever these numbers are. It's a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, doesn't matter. So the first one, I'm going to find f of 0. Well, I get negative 0, which is just 0, plus 2. What's 0 plus 2? 2. So my starting point for this first one is 0, 2. Is that going to be open or closed, that point? Open. Why? Yeah, because it's not equal to, it's less than. So what you're going to do, you're going to plot that starting point. So that's step number 2. Plot starting points. So 0, 2, I'm just going to go by ones here. Is that point right there, yes? And of course, when you take the test, make sure you label it. I think I'll have it labeled for you, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Now we're going to find our next starting point. We're going to plug in 0 into our second one. To get 0 minus 2, what's that? Negative 2. So our next starting point is 0, negative 2 for this one. Is that open or closed? Closed. So 0, negative 2. And I really like what Aiden said the first time that I was showing this. The next step is determine the direction. And we'll use Aiden's tip to help with that. So, we're going to determine the direction of arrows. Let's focus on the open dot here first. All you're going to do is you're going to draw a little arrow based on the direction, right? So that means that your line, it's going to go that way. Yeah? So when you look at the slope is negative 1, right? So that says go down 1 to the right 1. But I'll be going the opposite way, right? So I don't want to do that. So instead of going down 1 to the right 1, what can I do? Up to the left. Right. And that's the right way, right? Somebody asked, how did I determine the slope? I just looked at y equals mx plus b, m being your slope. My m is this negative 1. So down 1 to the right 1. I said I can't go down 1 to the right 1 because I know I have to go this way, not the other way. So I have to go up to the left, not down. Yeah? Okay. The red one. That's close. Slope is what there? What's the slope there? For that second equation. Slope is 1. How did you get that? Yeah, there's a 1 in front of the x, right? So from here I go up 1 to the right 1. Let's see. I'm supposed to be going that way, right? So I know that I look like that. Up 1 to the right 1, is that the right direction? Yeah. Does that make more sense? That's really hard. So does it really make more sense? Okay. Domain and range. Domain's always all real numbers. That's easy. All real. You don't even have to think about it. All real numbers. Range, and there will be a bonus question on domain and range. Range is different. Range says look at your y's. What's this y value? Yeah, negative 2. So it's going up, right? So that is y is greater than or equal to negative 2. What about this one? Y is, well, it's going up, right? Greater than 2, because open, right? So, do you have to use both on here, or just one? Which one? Which one covers both of those? Y is greater than 2, or y is greater than or equal to negative 2? Y is greater than or equal to negative 2 because that includes 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, right? Does that kind of make sense? So y is greater than or equal to negative 2. So that's how you do those. Number 9 and number 7. questions on number 9 and 7? We will take a break after the next one. What's step 1?
Starting points.
Find the starting points. How do I find the starting points? I plug in what?
-1.
Plug in -1. So for the first one, let's just do that one in pink. I'm going to plug in -1. F of -1 equals -3 times -1, which is what? Positive 3. So my starting point is -1, 3. Is that open or closed?
Close.
Close, yep. Let's go by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, -8. -8. Okay, that's closed. So -1, positive 3. -1, positive 2, 4. So that's here. And that's closed. Okay. Let's find the other starting point. The other starting point is f of -1 again. What is that going to be? What's my other starting point? Well, I'm plugging in -1. Which one am I plugging -1 into, the first or second one? Second one, because I've already found the starting point for the first one, right? So when I plug in -1 in the second equation, what do I get? 3 times -1, which is -3. So your starting point is -1, -3. Is that going to be open or closed? Open. Right. So -1, -3. Oops, and that's a little off. So -1, -3. That's going to be, oops, that's going to be open. Open, and then let me fix this. This one is closed at -1, 3. Okay, got that so far? Now we have to determine what? Now that we find our starting points. Direction. Okay, so we're going to do Aiden's tip. So that first one, it needs to be going that way. That second one, it needs to be going the other way, right? So, for the first one, what's my slope? What's my slope? Up how many?
3.
My slope is, for this first one, it's down 3 to the right one, right? If I go down 3, down 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1, I end up here. Now, am I supposed to be going down or am I supposed to be going up? Up. Right, so instead of going down 3 to the right, what am I going to do? Up 3 and to the left. Up 1, 2, 3, to the left 1. So I look like that. Does that make sense? That's the first one. Second one, my slope is positive 3, right? So I'm going to go how much up and how much to the right? Up 3 to the right one. So I'm going to see if that's going to give me the right direction. Up 3, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. Is that the right direction? Yeah. Maybe it's going. Does that make sense? Okay. So, any questions? Is that easier to graph now? Yeah.
Okay, so I got confused on about the first slope and how it's like that.
I'll just, the first slope is negative 3. Right?
I got that, but I don't understand why it's like that.
Because this says, on your thing, it says x has to be less than or equal to negative 1, right? That means it has to be negative 1 and less than that, right? Because if it's pointed down, look at your x values. That x is positive 1, right? That x is positive 2, 3, 4. So we don't want it to go down. Does that make sense? Because this is just talking about your x restriction. It's just restricting your x's. So that's why Aiden's tip is very helpful, because this tells you it needs to go that way. You don't even have to think about it. Does that make sense? Okay. Domain and range. What's your domain? All real. Let's see if we can deal with our range. So what's the range? What is the range of the purple graph? Y is what? Greater than or equal to? Three, right? That range, you'll find it from our starting point. So y is greater than or equal to 3. What about this one? Yeah, so which one covers both? Y is greater than negative 3. This is really hard stuff. You get it? Okay. Questions on this? Okay. We are going backwards. We're going to write the equation. This is a lot easier than graphing it. So what you want to do is, let's start with the black line. We want to find our slope, find our y-intercept. So what's our y-intercept? The black one. Yeah, negative 1. Right. So negative 1, that's our y-intercept. These are both black lines, but you know which one. And then what's our slope? We're going to go from, yep, from here to here, up 1, 2, to the right 1. So my equation is what? Yeah, y equals 2 over 1x, or just 2x, minus 1. Now on your test, remember you're going to be given lines, and it'll just say find the equation of the line. So make sure you know how to do that just by looking at the graph. You all know how to do that just by looking at the graph? Okay, well if you don't, remember you find where does it cross the y-axis, that's the y-intercept. Okay? So it passes at negative 1, y-intercept. How do you get from point to point? Up to, over to the right 1. That's your slope. Now you have a restriction. So y equals 2x minus 1 if. Are your x's, when you go down here, are they going to start to be negative, or are they going to stay positive? Negative. This side, don't you start getting negatives?
Yes.
So if you were to draw this arrow down, aren't you going to start hitting negative numbers?
Yes.
Does that make sense? So that means that if x is what? Well, what's this x value here? 2. If x is what? Less than negative 2, less than or equal to negative 2, greater than 2, greater than or equal to 2. Not greater than. Less than or equal to. Why is it less than or equal to? Where does the equal sign come from?
Golden dot.
The closed dot. Why is it less than? Where does that come from? It's going down. It's going down. Okay, next one. This is difficult. This is just a y equals a number. What number? 4. Remember horizontal lines are y equals. Vertical lines are x equals. See a line like this? That's y equals. See a line like this? That's x equals. So y equals what? What number? Yeah. Y equals what? Y equals 4. Because no matter what your x value is, what is your y value? 4. 4, 4, 4, right? Okay. If x is what? Well, are your x values positive? Always positive? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yes. So y, or if x is it going to be less than, greater than, okay, greater than what?
4.
That's your y value. What's your x value? 2. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Yeah, one more problem. Okay, so find an equation of a line that is parallel to the following line and passes through the point 2, 3. This is the other harder concept. Okay, so piecewise and then these. Again, the best they can do is give you a note card. So please do not forget your note card. Don't wait until the day of the test to do it. Okay, so find an equation of a line that is parallel to the following line and passes through the point 2, 3. Y equals 3x plus 2. What does it mean to be parallel? It's not going to cross, right? It'll be like this.
But they can't cross.
Yeah, they can't cross. What about their slopes?
They're the same.
Same slopes. Opposite reciprocal for perpendicular. So you already know that your slope is what here? For parallel. Yeah. So what's the slope here?
3.
3. So what's the slope of the parallel line?
3.
3. Now, do you remember what to do? This step.
Plug everything in.
Plug everything in. What do I plug in for y?
3.
What did you get that?
For
For the points. Plug in 3 for y. Mx. What do I plug in for m? 3. Where did you get that? From the m. What do I plug? Yeah, from the same slope. What do I plug in for x? Mx. 2. And then I'm solving for b. 3 equals 6 plus b. Subtract 6. Subtract 6. Negative 3 equals b. So what's the equation of that? Y equals 3x minus. Okay. You have questions? As far as the end of the year goes, just so you are aware, we are taking the chapter 4 test. You'll have your quarter benchmark report that's coming up as well. And then we're going to end the year with chapter 5. So we have a ton of, we have two tests, 4 and 5 really. We're about to take 4, we're going to end the year with 5. That means that 5 is going to take us quite a while to get through. We'll have several open days. On those open days, we're going to do some review, and then maybe that's what you have to do your taxes or something. So,
That's something I can actually use in school.